So, hi you guys, and welcome to my channel where I literally just, there was random glass on the floor and I don't know where it came from, but I cut my finger on it, so that's a way to start this out because the topic of this video is battle scars. I have gotten my fair share of scars and stuff like that because I'm very clumsy, and then I've had very I can't remember the word. I've had very unlikely circumstances come my way that have caused me to, hurt myself, like a random piece of glass on the floor. So this is kind of like a story time video, and it's going to be of my battle scars. So let's jump into it. My first battle scar is on my knee, my right knee. And it's like a huge scar. I don't know, you guys won't be able to see it, but it's on my knee. Like across the side of my knee, like really, really big. And it's been there since I was like 9 years old. And it sucks. I can't feel that area either. So if someone like punches me or if I get something stabbed in it, I don't feel it. I've had like a paper clip open, stab into my knee, and I did not feel it at all. I just couldn't feel it, and I looked down at my knee, I'm like, that's not supposed to be in there. So let me tell you the story of how I managed that and to have it still to this day. So when I was 9 years old, I went to this church camp with my cousins, my mom, and my sister and everything, because my cousin ran it. And it was down in South Carolina, and we went to this, it was called Camp Crabtree. I don't know why they named it that, but it was Camp Crabtree. I don't know, I still think about it to this day, like, why Camp Crabtree? Maybe because there were, it probably would make sense if there were a bunch of crab trees there, but whatever. Not my naming process. So almost every day in the camp, we would go down to this lake that they had with like this dock, and then you jump into it, swim, all that stuff. And I was 9. I was in that, I'm going to impress everybody with my like cannonball skills because I think I'm like the coolest thing that ever walked on this dock. So I decided to try to show off in front of my cousins, in front of like all the people, and I just ended up like scaring the hell out of everybody, let me tell you. So I decided I was gonna run and do a cannonball jump into the lake, and I never hit the water. I ran, and it kind of blurs out. I don't know what happened. I don't know if I tripped over something. I don't know if I just clumsily fell over myself. I have no idea what happened to this day. And all I remember is looking down at the dock that was in front of me, and then leaning up saying, I'm okay, and then looking at my knee, and there's like blood rushing down my leg, and I'm just kind of there like, why is my leg bleeding? What do I do? And next thing I know, my cousin comes and like swoops me up in his arms because he was, I think, 17, 18, somewhere up there in that range. And he's like, oh my god, my little cousin is like bleeding out of her leg. So he swoops me up and he starts running up the hill. He's like, oh my god, we have to get back to camp. Like, oh my god. I'm like, Tyler, what happened? Like, what? Because I didn't realize what was going on. I'm like in this shock. I didn't feel anything. I thought I just had like a scratch on my leg. And he's like, you cut your knee open. Like, it is open and you are bleeding. And I was like, what? But, okay. So he ran up the hill, and then he was like, wait, I forgot something. Maybe I should get the counselor, like the main person, to come help. So he turns around, he's like yelling her name, and he's like, Sandy, Sandy! And he just like, funniest thing, before he started yelling her name, he was like, oh my god, I forgot Sandy! And I was like, so, I'm dying, and you didn't think to, I don't know, get the person who's in charge to come help? And then she comes running up the hill, and the only person who has a car to get me back to the, camp is down the hill still. So Sandy turns around and is yelling, Jeff! Like, she's bleeding! Oh my god! And so he comes running up the hill, and he's like, okay, but you ain't bleeding on my seats. You're gonna be in the back of the truck. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, I'm bleeding. Why does it matter? Like, I could bleed out. I could die. And you're more worried about your seats? So Tyler sits in the back of the truck bed and has me on his lap, and then Jeff hands us this like cloth. He's like, hold that over her knee, like, it's okay. And some other people from like that were swimming the lake like got in the back with us and like, oh my god, is she gonna be okay? Mind you, we were not allowed to have electronics, so there were really no phones to call 911 or anything like that. There are emergency phones where they're like, okay, like, we need to do something. So we drive back to camp. They get a bunch of band-aids and wrap my leg so I don't, like, bleed anymore all over the place. My mom comes out because she doesn't know I'm hurt yet. So she comes out and she, like, freaks out. She's like, oh my god, and she, like, almost faints because, to my unknown knowledge at the time, my knee was cut all the way down to where you could see the bone, like all through the nerves, everything, and you can see like my knee bone. It was bad, okay, but I didn't feel it. I still don't feel it. I never really felt it. When we get back to the camp, Sandy is like, okay, get in my van, we're going to the hospital. So Tyler puts me in the front seat, not the front seat, but it's a van, so the middle seats. And I was like crying. I was like, no, you have to come with me. I'm scared. So he gets in the back seat of the car, of the van, and then I'm in the middle, and then Sandy and my mom are in the front. And I'm just sitting there like, well, I'm gonna die. Like, this is the end. My knee is bleeding. I don't know what's going on. I can't feel my knee. I don't feel any of it. And so we drive to the hospital, and Tyler scoops me up and is like running in with me, and there's like blood, it's showing, and the nurse is like, oh my gosh, like freaking out, and then she's like, put that poor child down, like we'll move in a wheelchair, blah, 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 like freaking out. And I'm sitting there like, I still don't know anything, so I'm like, well, what? And so they get a wheelchair and they wheel me back into like the emergency room area, and an actual room, not just the little thing. This is just in a room. I'm sitting there like, it's bad. I had gotten the feel that it was bad, but I didn't really know he was sick, right? And so I'm sitting there like, please. They moved me onto this table where I'm laying down, and they rush in, or I'm like, am I really that badly hurt? And so I had to do a knee and a numbing thing, and I felt it then. I felt those, and they did not feel good. I was not happy. I was like, I already can't feel it. Like, why do you have to do this to me? But apparently I feel like somewhat around it, not, on the actual thing that happened, but the parts of my knee. And so I did a shot, and I had to get stuff, whatever. I had like 20, 30 stitches, something like that. That was fun. And, they were like, I was looking over at Tyler and Mom, and they're like, don't look, and I'm just sitting there like, why? And they're, oh god, ew, it freaks me out thinking about it to this day. They had to cut off some like dead lingering skin that had been cut. Oh god, it makes me sick. Because I looked, there's like a mirror. I don't know why they have mirrors in this room, because I was looking this way, but there was a mirror, and I saw them pulling up the skin and cutting it, and I was like, oh my god! And then, they stitched me up. I didn't feel any of it. I didn't feel the stitches or anything like that, so I was like, okay, I felt the shots, but I didn't feel that, so what's the big deal? And, they were like, your pain med subscription, they gave me crutches and everything. I had to be on crutches for like a month or so while, you know, all that stuff healed, because apparently it was like pretty deep. You know, if the scar's still here, it hasn't faded. So, but I had to walk around on crutches. It was, I mean, it was funny because I didn't really get affected by it. Everyone was like, you know, be careful, take your time. And I'm just like zooming around on my like crutches, just like, heh, sucks to be you, because I'm good at this. I loved it. I thought it was hilarious having to walk around on crutches. I could walk on my own sometimes, but you know, it was bad for the stitches, so they were like, no, you have to use these. It sucked because I couldn't go swimming anymore, and then I couldn't, you know, do like the running activities and all that stuff, but it left me with a pretty big battle scar that's kind of funny to tell the story of. And I got really mad at my cousin because he was like, you know, getting stitches out doesn't hurt, whatever, and like people usually say that it doesn't because there's scar tissue and stuff, so it doesn't really hurt. I felt it. I felt those stitches coming out. It was the worst pain I have felt. A month or so later, I had to get the stitches out of my knee, so I go to my primary care doctor to do that, and I was crying so hard. Like, she had to hold me down and start pulling the stitches out, and I was like, huh. And then the nurse had to like hold my legs, and I was like crying. I was like, stop, oh my god, it hurts. And mind you, I was like 9 years old, so it was really bad. My mom was crying because I was crying, and it was bad. It was bad, but I lived. So, thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it this far and got through all that, even though some of it was pretty gory and gross and creepy, it still gives me the chills when I think about the stitches part, this like stitching up my knee part. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Good.